JD Vance wasn't an ordinary man. He was a wizard. He lived in a little cabin in the magical hills of Ohio. JD protected Ohio from all sorts of magical creatures. He was a good wizard. JD's wizard robe was deep blue, the color of a summer sky. It had stars sewn on it in silver thread. They twinkled as he moved. His hat was tall and pointed. It had a silver star on top that glowed when he did magic. JD was a brave wizard, always ready to face danger. He knew Ohio needed him. He was ready to fight for his home. One day, trouble came to Ohio. Goblins. They poured in from the whispering caves, a dark and scary place. These weren't friendly goblins. They were mean and nasty. They wanted to take over Ohio. The goblins were led by Grungle, the biggest, meanest goblin of all. Grungle hated happiness and laughter. He wanted to cover Ohio in darkness. News reached JD. He knew he had to act fast. Goblins were a serious threat. They were small but dangerous, and Grungle was the most dangerous of them all. JD went into his cabin. It was time to prepare for battle. He had to protect Ohio. He had to defeat the goblins. He had to stop Grungle. JD opened his magic book. It was filled with ancient spells. He found the one he needed, the Light of Ohio. It was a powerful spell, but dangerous. He gathered his ingredients. He needed moonbeams, river water, and the feather of an eagle. He carefully mixed them in his cauldron. The potion glowed with a powerful light. JD drank the potion. He felt the magic surge through him. It was time to face the goblins. He grabbed his wand, a gift from a friendly dragon. He walked out of his cabin, ready to fight. The battle was fierce. JD's wand shot out beams of light. He turned goblins into toads. He sent others running with their tails between their legs. He was winning. Finally, only Grungle remained. He charged at JD, but it was no use. JD raised his wand. "Light of Ohio," he shouted, a blinding flash. Grungle was gone, vanished into dust. The threat was over. Ohio was safe again. The people of Ohio cheered for their hero. JD, the Wizard of Ohio, had saved the day again. He smiled. He was just a humble wizard, but he had a big job protecting Ohio, and he wouldn't have it any other way.
JD Vance knows dragons. Not literally, of course, but in the realms of fantasy novels and card games, Vance is no stranger to mythical beasts and epic battles. He grew up immersed in the fantastical worlds of the Lord of the Rings and magic, The Gathering, where good and evil clash in dramatic showdowns. Little did he know his own life would soon mirror those epic tales, casting him as a wizard in a world grappling with its own version of darkness. Vance's journey began far from the halls of power. In the heartland of America, he tasted the bitterness of economic hardship and witnessed the struggles of a community grappling with change. These experiences forged in him a deep connection to the forgotten men and women of America, a connection that would later define his political rise. But it was his foray into the world of ideas, through his writing and sharp commentary, that truly marked his transformation. Like a wizard honing his craft, Vance wielded words with precision and passion. Challenging conventional wisdom and shaking the establishment, he became a voice for the voiceless, a champion for those who felt ignored by the political elite. Vance's journey wasn't without its twists and turns. He emerged on the political scene as a fierce critic of Donald Trump, questioning his policies and pronouncements. Yet, like Gandalf confronting the Balrog, Vance eventually joined forces with the very figure he once opposed. This alliance, perplexing to some, was rooted in a shared belief: the need to disrupt the status quo and return power to the people. This alliance wasn't just about political expediency. It was about recognizing a shared enemy, the so-called woke agenda. This nebulous term, encompassing everything from critical race theory to gender identity, became the dragon Vance felt compelled to slay. He saw it as a force eroding traditional values, stifling free speech, and dividing the nation. His transformation from critic to champion wasn't without its costs. He faced accusations of hypocrisy, of abandoning his principles for political gain. But Vance remained undeterred, his conviction fueled by a belief that he was fighting for the soul of America. The battle lines were drawn. Vance, now armed with the platform of high office, found himself on the front lines of the culture wars. He locked horns with progressive activists, challenged the media's narratives, and defended traditional values against what he saw as the encroachment of wokeness. One particularly fierce battleground was the world of gaming, a realm Vance knew intimately. When a prominent game developer publicly denounced him and those who shared his views, Vance saw it as a microcosm of a larger battle for free thought. He refused to be silenced, using his platform to defend the right of gamers to enjoy their hobby without fear of ideological persecution. This clash resonated far beyond the gaming community. It became a symbol of the broader cultural divide, a clash between those who championed inclusivity and those who felt traditional values were under attack. Vance, with his wizardly command of language and his unwavering belief in his cause, became a lightning rod for both praise and criticism. As the 2024 election reached fever pitch, JD Vance found himself at a crossroads. The upcoming vice presidential debate loomed large, a potentially game-changing event in a race that was too close to call. The stakes were high, not just for Vance and his political future, but for the nation itself. The debate was no ordinary policy showdown. It was a battle for the soul of America, a clash of visions for the future. Vance, the wizard who had risen from humble beginnings, now carried the hopes and anxieties of millions on his shoulders. Could he channel his passion, his intellect, and his deep understanding of the human heart to convince America that his vision was the right one? The outcome of this magical duel remained uncertain, but one thing was clear. JD Vance, the wizard fighting the woke agenda, had already left an indelible mark on the American political landscape. His journey from fantasy enthusiast to cultural warrior reflected the anxieties and aspirations of a nation grappling with its identity in a rapidly changing world. The spells he cast, the words he wielded, would continue to reverberate long after the final votes were counted.